Hello. Okay, this is a tutorial on how to make this Alice in Wonderland type bottle. Says drink me on. I'm going to do a couple of different variants, but this is what it sort of looks like. Alright, the materials that you're going to actually use to make it, you're going to need some sort of small glass bottle. I've got 12 bottles for around £5, so just have a look online. And they're not too expensive. Optional is little eye pins, which look like that. They screw in, so if you want to turn this into a necklace, you can do, or you can just leave them out. If you have to turn it into a necklace, you'll need some sort of necklace as well. This is just an old brass cord type one. Another option, if you want a label sticking off, instead of drink me being written on the bottle, you could have a label sticking off. If you're going to do that, you'll need a little bit of thread. Now, I didn't have any thread, so what I've done is just get a piece of string and just take one of the bits out of it, and that'll do for me. Also, depending on how you want the liquid inside, you can either use water or glycerine, which gives it a very gloopy consistency. You can see it's very gloopy. And I'm using blue food colouring because Alice in Wonderland always reminds me of blue, so that's what colour I'm going to be using. Right. As well as those ingredients, you're going to need to print out some labels. Now, if you do a Google search for Drink Me, Alice in Wonderland, it'll come with loads of these type of labels, and you can just copy and paste a load of them into a block and then print them out. Okay. Alright, so another optional thing is a bit of Mod Podge, which you can use to seal the cork. Alright, as for how you're going to put it together, you're going to need a pair of scissors or a craft knife for cutting out the labels, a cocktail skewer or something to mix in the blue food dye, and then this is optional, just a needleless syringe. It just gets it inside the bottle clean, so you have to do less cleanup afterwards. But that's just if you have one hanging about. You can just drip it in slowly. Right, and then just a few tissues to clean up. Alright, the first thing that you're going to want to do is get your water and your food colouring and something to stir them. You can use the water-based food colours. They work as well, but this just works a little bit better. These are paste-based. They're a lot higher concentration. It just means you have to use less of this to get the same amount of colour. And if you're using the glycerol, it means it'll keep its colour. So just get a little bit on your cocktail stick and mix it in until you get a colour that you like. That's a nice colour for me. You see it's a little bit dark but not too dark. Alright, so grab one of your little bottles and take the cork out. And if you've got a syringe, just take a bit of the water out. If you've not got a syringe, you can use, if you've got a little funnel, you can try and pipe it in there, or anything, but you'll find a way. So with the syringe I can just put it in and then squirt it in until there's enough. Alright, that's probably over 3/4 of the way full, and so that's a good amount for me. Okay, next thing for you to do is get a bit of your Mod Podge, and then with your lid, with the cork rather, the small end of the cork, you're just going to dip that in, just a little bit, and then rub that around the bottom of the cork. Now you're not using this as a glue, using it as a sealant so the food dye doesn't seep into the cork and stain it. So you only need a little bit, and then you just leave that to dry before moving on to the next step. Alright, for the different inside bit that you can do is using glycerine. Do the same as you did before. Put it in a glass. Get the food dye and then just mix it in until you've got the right sort of colour that you... I've gone for just a touch darker this time. Alright, so you've got your bottle and then this glycerine, it's a lot thicker. But you do the same again. You get your syringe or anything to get it in. I'll do this on an angle so it makes it easier. And then just take it in. A good tip if you're going to use a syringe, hold it upright and tap. So that gets all the air bubbles up. And instead of squirting it and let it squirt all over the floor, do it into a tissue. Which means it's going to absorb straight into the tissue and you're not going to get any mess on your floor or on your hands. Which also leaves this, the tip of this, very clean, so if you put it into your bottle now, you're not going to get blue all over. So, same as I did before, I'm just going to put it in and then alright, so that's about as full as it was last time. So, alright, I've already glued the cork, so I can just put that straight on there and press it right down, and that'll be good for me now. Alright, so our Podge is dried on the cork now, and luckily I managed not to get any of this blue water on the edge of the bottle, so I don't have to clean anything up. So I'm just going to pop that in and press it down, and that's good. It holds tighter than you think, so, but you can super glue it in if you're going to be doing anything too drastic. If you're going to be using it as a necklace, you might want to super glue it in place as well. Alright, so what I'm going to do first is make the label which sticks off the side. So for that you're going to want two pieces, and you're going to want to cut them out, but not perfectly. You're just going to want to do it into a square so you can line them up accurately enough, and then you're going to score around the outside. So once you've got it into a square, you're going to want to peel off the back. There we go, so both of the backs are peeled off. So line them up so they're both the right way up, and then stick them together as best you can. Try and get them as lined up as possible. And the way I did wasn't too good, but you'll see. So once they're stuck together, then you can cut around. What you want to do is cut around out this black or whatever shape label you've got. Alright, so that's my label. You can see it's got it on the same axis, and the edges are cut out now, so they're a bit jagged. Use a craft knife if you've got it. If you've not got it, use a pin of some sort, and you just want to cut out a little bit of a hole. Alright, so you can just about see I've got a little bit of a pinhole, which I'm going to use that bit of thread that I got off before. I'm just going to poke that through. There we go. And then I'm going to tie this off. Okay, 2 knots to secure it in place, and then the short end I'm just going to shorten. And then I'm going to tie it around the bottle. You can see the indent between lid and bottle, it goes in. I'm going to tie it around there. You can do it as long as you want. I'm going to do mine a bit shorter. It's only just hanging off. Again, 2 knots. Alright, so that's finished now. You could leave it like that, or you could put the label on the front as well. If you're going to do this label, make sure you print it out small enough, because this is a little bit oversized. But that one's that for now. There. Alright, so with the little bits here, you just want to get one out. You can either use the craft knife again or just some scissors. And because I'm only going through one layer, I think the craft knife is easier for me. Alright, so you can just about see that it's, cut out properly and fully. Alright, so peel off the back, and then make sure it's the right side up, and then just roll it onto it. There we go. Jimmy, and that's done now. You could put a label and a front on, but I like it with just the label on. You can see this is the water one, and then the glycerine one. It's a lot gloopy and it just looks kind of fantasy and cool. I like the glue post better. Alright, so they're done if you just want them as an ornament. If you want them as a necklace or a charm or anything, you're going to need one of these eye pins. What you do is you just twist it into the cork. And then get whatever necklace you're going to use and just thread it through. Okay, so there you go. You could put it on a necklace like that if you wanted. Although if you are going to have it as a necklace, you want to glue the cork in as well. It should hold, but if you're going to be doing any sort of moving about, you want to have it fixed in with glue. So, but that's a nice little charm. It's, it catches your eye, but it's not too big to be, in the way and everything. So make a nice present for anyone. who's a fan of Alice in Wonderland, or just a nice little thing to go on a shelf of cool things. So, I think that wraps it up. Well, if you want to leave a comment if you like this, or leave a like as well, that helps out. I'd love to see if anyone makes one themselves. If you do, get in contact with me, let me know how it went. And thanks for watching. See you next time. Here is the label one with a smaller label, which is the same size as this. So you can see it looks a lot better.